need to have a quorum in the room to run the meeting, and we do. And then we have some other participants who are on the Zoom. We are making generally recommendations that go to the full board on the first Wednesday of next month. And then we write letters to different agencies to make recommendations. So I'm sure this is not exactly the way it's supposed to be because I don't have the script, but I think you get the gist of it. So we have a heavy agenda today, but very interesting. And the first participant, the first presentation. Oh, should we go around the room to introduce ourselves?
Tina Nelson, transportation member.
Right.
Alan Oster, member.
Thomas Garza, member.
Pete Diaz, member.
Max Gibson, member.
Jack Nyberg, interested member.
Interested party.
Hey, Jesse Greenwald, co-chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interested party also. Christine Berthet, co-chair.
Rodney Washington, member.
And then another interested party.
Someone who knows how to-
He has a subscription. And then online, do we have anybody from
Yes, me, David Warren. Hi,
David, how are you?
how are
I'm
you?
missing you in person, you know? It's not that far from you.
Maybe next week, next month.
It's like 4 blocks from you, for Christ's sake.
Liam Buckley
Oh,
here
and
too.
Liam is on. Okay. Hi, Liam. All right. So the first item is we are going to change the order of the first item because per request, the revocable consent should go first to accommodate various schedules. And so I want to turn it to whoever is going to make the presentation.
Thank you very much, Christine. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Great. Good evening. So yes, tonight we are here to present the revocable consent application that the Port Authority submitted to the New York City Department of Transportation. And that application has been transmitted by DOT to the appropriate city agencies for interagency review. And as part of the city's revocable consent process, there is a public review component, which is why we are here before you this evening to walk you through the proposal and answer any questions you all may have. This application relates to the construction of the temporary interim ramps that's necessary to advance Phase 1B of the Midtown Bus Terminal Redevelopment Project. For those of you who are not familiar with the terminology, Phase 1B, that essentially means the construction, this next phase of construction that we're entering into, which could be the construction of the ramp system and a storage and staging facility, which will operate as a temporary terminal once it's constructed. But before that, we need to construct temporary interim ramps, which you'll learn a little bit more about in a few moments from our major capital projects team. So with that, I will turn it over to the major capital project team to walk us through the purpose and need of these temporary ramps. And I will turn it over to, yes, is that you, Aman?
Yeah, I want to introduce Colleen Chattergood, who is online and who represents the whole DOT. So any questions you have?
Thanks, Christine.
uh,
Just so you know, I haven't left the office. I'm still here.
oh,
Hi, Colleen.
okay. All right. So
Thank you for the introduction, Leilani. Hi, everyone. My name is David Torres. I'm a senior project manager in major capital projects. We're the department tasked with building this project. I'm also joined for major capital projects by Ken Garcia and Aman Patel, who is going to present a little bit regarding the interim ramps and specifically the revocable consent. So give me a second, I'll pull up the presentation. Can everyone see the screen?
yes.
Yes.
Great, thank you. So a little bit about what we're presenting today. We're going to do a quick project overview and timeline. I'm sure this part will look very familiar to many people who've been following this project. But then we're going to go into discuss and give you a little bit of imagery regarding the temporary ramp component of this project. We're specifically going to talk about how the design has changed since we wrapped up the environmental review process, and then do a quick summary of the revocable consent that we are applying for here. So there are 5 main components to the project. The first one being this green structure over here, all the way to the right, this being the new main terminal. This is located approximately at the same location as the existing terminal today, between 40th and 42nd Streets, with 8th Avenue being the main entrance for a lot of commuters. This new main terminal, however, unlike the terminal today, does extend over 9th Avenue all the way to Dyer Avenue here. It connects directly to this new component of the project that we currently don't have in the current facility, called the storage and staging facility. You can see it here in blue. This is really to help us with our operations, but one big benefit of having this new component of the facility is that it will serve as a temporary terminal while we are building the new main terminal. Further to the left, here in this salmon pinkish color, you can see the new ramp structure. This is located today above Galvin Plaza, and it connects to the Lincoln Tunnel portals to the new facility. And then 2 other components that we have that are not directly related to the bus operations are these 2 Dyer Avenue deckovers, located today between 39th Street and 37th Street. This area currently is sunken highway infrastructure that is inaccessible to the public, but once the project is complete, we will be able to turn this over for it to be publicly accessible open space, about 3.5 acres. And then finally, the last main component of this effort are the 2 private development towers located on the 8th Avenue side of the main terminal above it. These will be the size and the use will be subject to market demand and will be built by a private developer once the entire bus terminal project is completed. So a quick timeline. We are currently in phase 1 of the project. Phase 1, we've divided into 2 segments. First being phase 1A. This is the deckover element of the project, again, located between 9th and 10th Avenue and between 37th and 39th Streets. We started this about midway last year, with the groundbreaking being in May. Additionally, something that we've kicked off more recently is the start of phase 1B. This is the staging and storage facility and ramp structure, which will also serve as the temporary terminal while we are building the new main terminal. This timeline specifically is when we need these interim ramps, because the current ramp structure it exists here pretty much where this phase 1B is being built. We cannot utilize the existing ramp structure in order to keep the main terminal in operation. So while we are building this, we are going to need temporary ramps, and I have more images later on in the presentation where you'll be able to see where they are located. But this is really the part of the project that is going to require these temporary ramps. Once we finish building that temporary terminal in the new ramp structure, and we then open it up to the public and start operations out of that temporary terminal, we will then begin phase 2, which is the construction of the new main terminal. At this point, once we've been able to move all operations back into that temporary terminal, we will be able to decommission those interim ramps that we're going to present today. The goal of this whole project is to have it wrapped up by 2035, at which point then we will be able to turn those deckovers into publicly accessible open space, and then begin the process of looking for private developer for those 2 towers. Here's the total timeline. So again, we're in phase 1 right now, with the goal of having all of phase 1 wrapped up by 2030, and then phase 2 really being that 5-year period between 2030 and 2035. I'm going to hand it over to Ken Garcia now, who's going to speak a little bit about the temporary ramps.
Thank you, David. So next slide. So yeah, I'm going to go over the temporary ramps and their need and the evolution of the design. So as David was saying, the temporary ramps are required under phase 1 in order to maintain our operations with the existing bus terminal. As you're aware, being in the community, we know that there's a lot of buses that run into that facility They use the existing ramp system that's between 40th and 39th over Dyer Avenue and over 10th. And we need to maintain that bus traffic to keep the operations of the bus terminal. This is a temporary structure, a temporary operation for those temporary ramps. It's going to be for those operations about 5 years while we build the ramps and the interim terminal. And then once we get those operations moved out of the existing bus terminal, we'll be able to start the decommissioning of the removal of the temporary ramps. If we didn't have those ramps, those temporary ramps, and we didn't have them elevated over 40th Street, we would end up having to put buses on the street network and impacting the community and operations as well. So that's the need for it and why we need it. And then we'll go over some more images. So next slide. So as David was saying, we're talking one of the components of phase one is building the SSF, the staging and storage facility, which will be the interim terminal. And it's located in this area, right over where the existing ramps structures are between West 40th and 39th, between 10th Avenue and Dyer Avenue. As you can see, that is a very congested area. And this is what we need to remove these ramps. And you'll see these ramps colored in red are the existing car ramps that feed the rooftop parking, which has been closed. And these are the first component of the ramps that will be removed or decommissioned. That's starting later this month. There was an advisory sent out to the community, making them aware of that. And I think there's an information session scheduled for later this month to talk about the removal of these ramps. In blue, you see the ramp system that feeds the buses into the existing terminal. So this is what we really need to find a different route for those buses that use those blue ramps. And what we came up with in the next slide, you'll see an option of putting it, and what we're moving forward with. David, you go to the next slide. So what we're looking to do is put 2 temporary ramps along 40th Street between Galvin Avenue and the existing ramps over Dyer Avenue. So there's 2 ramps. One, and you see in red, is the IR 99. That is an outbound ramp that connects to existing ramp structure over Dyer and is elevated over 40th Street and stays elevated as we cross over 10th Avenue and then descends to grade right before Galvin Avenue, so it can get into the north tube as a way out of the city into the tunnel. In blue, you see Interramp 97. So that one again connects to existing ramp structures over Dyer Avenue, but this one descends and touches down east of 10th Avenue. And then you have a smaller Interramp 96 that allows traffic to come off of Dyer Avenue on the east side, wrap around, and go into the existing bus terminal. So as we've had extensive coordination with Gotham and Covenant House, we've changed the design from what you see here. And the next slide, you'll see an evolution of how the design has changed. Next slide, David. Thank you. So as I was saying, we've had extensive coordination with Gotham Properties and Covenant House. And here you'll see the evolution from August of last year to where we are now with the design of the temporary ramps. And on the top, you'll see where we were in August. And what you'll notice is that the 2 ramps kind of stayed, were not overlapping. They kind of were side by side, with 99 being elevated. That had the northern edge of temporary ramp 99 being 4 feet off the eastern edge of Gotham Properties south facade, and then 15 feet along the western edge along 10th Avenue. With the coordination with Gotham, we were able to one of the requests they had was to kind of increase that separation obviously from their building, as well as from Covenant House's courtyard there. So we had, and what you see in the middle image is our November design that we did, we had to look at it and make sure we maintain the operational needs of keeping those two ramps feeding the bus terminal. But we were able to increase the separation from Gotham from 4 feet on the eastern edge to 29, approximately 29, and on the western edge from 15 to approximately 30 feet. We were also able to move a column away from their lobby that was on 10th Avenue in the corner, just kind of moved further away. We also increased the separation from the eastern edge of the Covenant House courtyard from approximately 3 feet to 18 feet. In the lower image, you'll see where we are now from last month after having those conversations and more conversations with Gotham Properties and Covenant House. So in here, we maintained the 29 feet separation and the 30 feet, but we also were able to move that column even further. That's on the corner of 10th and 40th, further away from their lobby on entrance on 10th Avenue, and kind of moved it to the northern edge of the sidewalk of the southern edge of the northern sidewalk along 40th Street. So it's even further away from their property. We also see in the yellow outline, just on the north side of the 99 elevated, is a barrier, sound barrier that would be installed. Any questions, or we can go to next? There's some more images. And here again are kind of summary of the changes that we've done, increasing the separation. And again, well, that we are able to do while maintaining the operational needs to feed the existing terminal. Here's a rendering of looking eastbound from about 10th Avenue. And what you'll see is on the left, the original design in August, where you see a large concrete column on the corner, right behind the kind of the signpost light pole. And then you'll see the 4 foot and how close we were to the proximity that we were to the Gotham properties. And in the middle, you'll see the first variation. And what you'll notice is the separation. We were able to achieve that by actually raising 99 more than we originally had planned to be able to get elevation, enough clearances to get above 97 and slide that 99 over 97 earlier than we had originally in the original design. You'll also notice in the middle image that that column that was a large concrete column is now we redesigned it. It's a smaller in size, and we actually placed it in the location where the lamppost was. So again, to try to gain some space on that sidewalk. On the far right, you'll see the image as we stand now after the coordination. Again, you'll see the barrier in yellow, which is a potential for graphics on the north side of that barrier, and that the graphics would be determined in cooperation and in coordination with Gotham and the community. You will also see the column we were able to shift away from the lamppost and put it along that edge of the sidewalk, again, increasing the separation from their lobby entrance for Gotham. So the next slide, I think that is the image. Here's a recap on, it's a recap, and then here is the revocable consent summary. So I can go with that's application RP 2701. And again, that revocable consents for the foundations that will be in the street and the sidewalk along 40th Street, as well as the bridge elements above 40th Street. Due to the temporary nature of the ramps, New York City determined that revocable consent was a process that was appropriate action for these temporary ramps. Temporary ramps will be maintained by the Port Authority. Obviously, we've had a lot of snow this winter, so these ramps will be equipped with a snow melt system that will deal with any snow, similar to the existing ramps that feed the bus terminal. And the removal of the temporary ramps will occur after the temporary bus terminal is completed at the end of phase 1. we've moved all the operations into that bus operations into that temporary terminal. That will then allow us to start the removal process of those temporary ramps. And again, that's approximately a 5-year process from building it to completing phase 1 and then moving that operations over.
Excellent, thank you so much.
Mhm.
So anyone of the committee have a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
You did mention removing a light pole, which did remind me to ask about, lighting infrastructure around and underneath the ramps to make sure that, obviously we're both, when it gets dark and then you have all these giant ramps above, it could be dangerous down on the sidewalks. So do we have plans for installing new lights and overhead lighting?
Well, there will be lighting on the ramps, and we have talked with the community about having lighting underneath. Obviously, there is a section where we'll be lighting about putting the ramps above the CUNY, close to the CUNY area facility. That will have some lighting. We have separated up. Obviously, we have any lighting that we need for the roadway underneath to keep that bright. So there is some lighting under the ramp system.
And when you say some, where is it that we don't have lighting?
Well, there is lighting. It will maintain the requirements for lighting at the sidewalk and at the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have a follow-up on lighting. But are you going to install lighting on the top ramp?
Yes, there will be lighting above the ramps, on the ramps themselves, to light it as required by code on a bridge, on a ramp structure. We will obviously work to make sure that lighting is limited to being on the ramps itself and doesn't cast lighting where it doesn't need to be. It'd be nuisance lighting.
Okay. So who else? All right.
Just to follow up, we should get a lighting plan at some point. When they figure out where it's going to be.
Okay. Yes.
I just wanted clarification on the soundproofing. I might not have understood the design. I'm curious if there's soundproofing all along the ramp that's open between the temporary building and the street or building next to it.
So if we can go back, David, to slide 14, here what you see is in the yellow on the far right is the barrier, and would be a sound barrier, and that is there to mitigate, provide some barrier for the noise from the buses as long as they traverse along the edge of what is Gotham's property.
Right, so that will extend, because it was only a small piece. I assume that will extend all the way down, right?
That extends just for 99. It is not at grade. It's for the elevated ramp.
Right, but I think the question is, it'll go from basically the edge of the Gotham building to the edge of the Covenant House building.
It'll go from the edge of the CUNY to the
Right.
edge of to the far west edge of the Gotham property.
Right.
Okay, so then my other question is, I'm just curious, why wouldn't you extend it the whole way?
There are no,
The whole
there are no
length.
houses. There are no houses there.
Right, but it's still a street. People are still walking there. So I'm just sort of curious why it wouldn't be extended slightly farther, because buses are noisy, and particularly if there are 50 buses sitting there and they're all coming down. He showed us a picture of numerous buses lined up. So I'm just curious.
Yeah. So it's right now it goes to the western edge of CUNY because the CUNY facility is currently it's vacant. The area over 10th Avenue, it's over 10th. It's already, you have traffic running on 10th. So we did not extend it past the western edge of the Gotham property.
Yeah, I think again, the what we were trying to mitigate against is impact of the buses on the the tenants of those floors of the building, right? There's going to be, ambient sound already from other traffic and everything else that already happens in this area. And so that's why the screen wall that you see there is really intended to mitigate against the impact on those tenants there.
Wes, yes.
I think the plan is really smart and it's a really interesting phasing. I'm just curious about the fee for the revocable consent to the city. It's quite a large area that you guys are occupying for the revocable consent. Are you guys able to tell us the fee you're paying the city?
So we are working through some of those payments to the city. I don't know if we're able to share the specific amounts right now, but part of the discussion is, as a public agency, where is there sort of where do the discussions stand? And so I think those discussions are still ongoing with DOT about the exact nature of the fees and the duration of the fees.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
Yep.
I have a question about under the bridges, under the ramps, are there spaces which could become problematic as far as homeless encampment, etc.? And are you going to at least put some grates or grids to protect from that?
So the elevated portion, obviously you want to maintain the traffic along 40th Street. We will work on, and 430 will, Hirsch, you can help me out on wording, but exactly, we will protect the area that is not open to traffic, let's say, where we're not having bus traffic on 40th Street go underneath. We will obviously secure those areas.
Yeah, so it's really if you're looking at the picture on the screen now, the ramp, the lower ramp, the green ramp, if you want to call it that, right? As it's descending, right, there will be some areas where there will be, some space underneath. So we will certainly make sure that that is protected, right? So it's for security purposes, it's to prevent, encampments, things like that. So, that will be part of that, and then the other benefit of this stacking is that it limits the areas, right, where encampments can get set up from the original, sort of side by side design.
Okay. Anybody else? Do we have questions?
Members of the public, is there
In the
anyone?
public? Janine, do we have anyone?
No, there's no hands up.
Okay. All right, so I don't know, I'm going to summarize, you tell me. We're supporting the application. A lot of good work has been done to satisfy the neighbors. I think I want to make sure that the language is very tight about when you're going to take it down. Just saying after it's built is pretty much open-ended. So it would be nice to have language which says at worst, 2 years after it's done or whatever, because we have seen those situations where it kind of bleeds over. So that would be something we'd like to see in the consent. And then the mention of the light and the mention of the protection.
So lights, soundproofing, and secure areas to prevent unhoused encampments.
Right. So these are the the comments we would make on the consent, which I think are very simple. So do we have a motion?
Yeah.
Motion carries that.
Second, all
Second,
in favor? Very good.
anyone opposed?
No.
Good.
And online, where is David? David, did you vote?
I voted in favor.
Okay.
Sorry about
Liam?
that.
Liam has voted in favor. We need to see your face, Liam, when you vote.
Yes, in favor.
Yes.
Would we ask for trees or some sort of greenery around that, or is that too much?
I think we did, but then now that they have spent so much money doing the other thing, you know, at the beginning, we asked for that, and then we said, okay, this is like a huge.
Oh, okay.
Should we move to the next thing?
Yes.
News, moving on to second.
PA, all right, so thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Christine, there's just one last slide I'd like to speak to a
Oh, okay,
flyer.
oh, yeah, yeah.
That's all right. I won't be long, promise.
Pull it back up in 1 second.
Thank you, David.
Is that the last slide, David?
Sorry, can everyone see the screen? Yeah, there was one.
Yes. Well, we just see you, David.
Okay, how about now?
No?
Almost there. I think it's loading.
Yeah, I think it's loading.
It's up.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Really briefly,
problem.
I just wanted to call to your attention this
Yeah.
slide. We'll be holding a dedicated community meeting focused specifically on the upcoming decommissioning and removal of the former last parking lot ramps. And given the scale of that work, we believed it warranted its own detailed community briefing on it. So this flyer displayed here includes the meeting information details in which we encourage those interested in learning more about that phase of construction to attend it. But Christine and Jesse, I will circulate this flyer to you so you can, help us get the word out.
And also, Janine, we should plan to do an e-blast on
Yes.
with this communication at least twice.
Yes, Leilani, if you could send me the
Yes.
flyer also. Thank you.
Will do.
Leilani,
Thank you.
who's that?
Is
Oh, it's over here.
is this the heat and that's the AC?
No, I think it's all the AC, it's all the same.
That's all the same. No, I can watch
See,
that.
this is.
Can I just say one thing? Their public outreach has been excellent during this project. They've
Right.
been doing a really, really good job with this public outreach. Like,
Yeah, don't tell them that,
Yeah,
we're,
okay,
we're saying, what about this, what about
I'm
that?
really impressed. Really good.
Look at it.
Can we put that in the, Christine and Jesse, can we put that in the minutes, that comment, to
Yeah.
have it in the forever record?
And put it in the consent.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone.
So the next presentation from the Port Authority, the updates on the bridge parapets.
Yes. Hi, Christine. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanjila Rahman. I'm part of the Government Community Relations team at Port Authority. In addition to my colleagues Hirsch and Leilani from the Government Community Relations team, I'm also joined by Chris Lee and also Caroline Weiss and Kevin O'Neill from the project team. Today, we're here to provide an update on the next phase of the rehabilitation of bridge parapets over the Lincoln Tunnel Expressway project. As promised, I know we presented at the last September Transportation Planning Committee meeting. So today we are here to provide some updates on the next phase. I will turn it over to my colleague Caroline Weiss to do the presentation, and we can hold questions if possible until the end of the presentation, Christine, if that works.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Carolyn Weiss. I'm the program director at TB&T for the parapet project, and we are providing an update because we've experienced some issues and we have had to change direction a little bit on how we plan to execute the project. So I will share the presentation. Hopefully this is working. Share. Can everybody see?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So how do I advance? Oh, maybe I just click. There we go. So here's an agenda. What we thought we'd talk you through is the work completed to date, the staging issues that we're experiencing, some construction or original construction plan, how we've revised it. We're showing you a temporary barrier that we will need to put up, and then talk you through street by street like we did last time. And then, as Tangela said, we'll take questions. And
Sure.
hopefully you remember, we put the picture back up, that the parapets we are scheduled to replace are the ones on the south side of 37th, both sides of 35th, and both sides of 34th. These are just the bridges over the New York Expressway. So we also wanted to quickly show you again the current design. This has not changed, so that's good news. This is what it will look like when we are all done, still how we plan to have it look. Okay, so we did want to just show you what we've done to date. I'm sure since all of you live in the community, you have seen the existing condition on the south side of 34th and the north side of 35th Streets. We also wanted to share with you that we have started doing the mock-ups, and as soon as the complete mock-up is done, we'll schedule a time for members of this community board, transportation committee, to come and see the mock-up for themselves. So to look at it before it goes into place. As you can see, they have poured the concrete bottom portion, but we have not had good enough weather to be able to paint it yet. So it is not complete, and we need to complete that before we put the steel portion, the metal panel that goes above, that has been made on top of it. But you can see pictures of that from the shop. We went to the shop. It's absolutely beautiful, and you can see a photo of the light cove all lit up. So we think it's coming out really nicely, and we're excited about it. And like I said, we'll be in touch when you can visit the mock-up all together, that's being built in the construction yard. As I've intimated, we've had a couple of issues. So the first one, I think everybody knows, it's been a rough winter. We've had a lot of snow, a lot of days when it's been too cold to work, especially to work on things like pouring concrete that is architecturally exposed concrete. So we have fallen behind in our schedule. We also found out that the metal panels will not be ready until April. And one of the biggest issues we're dealing with is that there is an existing sidewalk shed on the north side of 34th Street. This sidewalk shed has been put up around the building. It's not ours. It belongs to the building. It's required by the Department of Buildings as part of the brick inspection requirements. They apparently have some repairs to their facade that they need to make, and until they make those repairs, the sidewalk shed can't come down. We've been meeting with this building owner constantly. We are trying to work through this issue with them, but we still don't have real clarity on when they think they will have the repair work complete and when the shed will come down, and it's now affecting our construction. And so I will show you why it's affecting our construction. If you remember our original schedule that we showed you, we were supposed to finish the south side of 34th and the north side of 35th by the end of this month, and then switch over to the north side of 34th and the south side of 35th. Obviously, we can't move over to the north side of 34th because of that sidewalk shed in front of our parapet on our sidewalk. And last but not least, we were going to go over and do the work on 37th. Because we've run into all these issues, we have developed a new schedule. And here it is. So as you can see, it's gotten much more complicated. So to date, that phase 1 work, we've broken up to phase 1A, which is the concrete work, the sidewalk and parapet. That is still not complete because of the cold weather and is not scheduled to be complete until mid-March. At that point, we will switch over to the south side of 35th as we planned and start working on that. But instead of going over to the north side of 34th, we're now going to go start 37th Street. So in order to try to maintain the completion at the end of the year, we've done this new plan where we jump back and forth a little bit in order to get the work done. And what that requires, because we will only have the concrete work done in phase 1A, not the top steel work, is that we need to put some temporary barriers up until we can get those metal panel and the lighting finished. And so we wanted to show you what those barriers look like. And so basically what we're going to do is pick up what you currently see out there really are concrete barriers with the fencing and put them up against the new concrete parapet that we will have poured. And those have to stay in place until we can come back and put the metal panels in. So you will be sitting at 35th and 34th Street with these temporary barriers for a while. And so let me show you our plan on 35th now is to finish the concrete work on the north side, flip over to the south side, putting that temporary barrier up against the north side, reopening the sidewalk. So you will have that sidewalk on the north side of 35th, and you'll have that temporary in the parking lane sidewalk on the south side of 35th while we do the entire south side. And once we finish that south side, we'll jump back over to the north side and get the metal panel put in and finish the work there. Okay?
Yep.
34th is a little more complicated. It's basically following the same plan. On the south side, we stop and then we put the temporary barrier up against the parapet, but we don't jump to the north side. We're hoping by June that sidewalk shed is gone and we can jump to the north side and do that work and finish the whole north side and then come back and put the metal panel on the south side and complete the work by the end of the year. But that is, of course, contingent on not just weather, but also that sidewalk shed being gone by June. So that's our plan for 34th. And then 37th, as we've mentioned, we plan to start sooner. We're going to start putting up that temporary protection platform underneath 37th Street hopefully early in March, and getting to work on 37th Street. As promised, we are keeping the pedestrian sidewalk in the parking lane, so there will always be a pedestrian walkway. And we are bringing it back up at that intersection point so that people can then walk under the sidewalk shed of the condo project to the west, because there's a lot of work going on 37th Street, but we're making sure everything connects. Now, the other thing you may notice is that we are planning to also take the sidewalk area on the piece of the bridge that extends to the west. It's still our bridge. What we're doing is taking that sidewalk at the contractor's request because it gives him storage space. And the reason we're doing that is because 37th Street, as you can see, will be reduced to one lane when we do this work. It already is reduced to one lane because of the condo work. We want to have the holds limited to off hours and limited to what works for the community. This will allow the contractor to make deliveries of material, store them on the sidewalk to the west, and then bring them over to the site when he's ready to use them, instead of needing to deliver things and have holds on the street when, it would be inconvenient to the community. So we think it's a real benefit to the community to give him that storage space. And since we already are putting the walkway in the street, we just thought we would extend it across that other bridge. So that's the update of where we are now and our new plan. And obviously we will turn out a bulletin as we did last time when we are ready to switch over in mid-March. So like a week before, 2 weeks before, we'll send out bulletins and let everybody know before we start work on those streets. And now that's the entire presentation, so I'll take questions.
Thank you. I think we all understand construction delays, and especially in the winter in New York City. Have you guys spoken to your other neighbors to make sure they are doing local law limit inspections before project completion?
Yes. We had another one on 35th Street. And we got out to them and they were fine and they've gotten it down and out of our way.
Great.
We have also reached out to the contractor who's working on the building to the west of us on 37th Street. They're not in our way and don't plan to be. So we have been reaching out to them. Like I said, we've reached out to this owner frequently on 34th Street. He's just having more trouble getting his work done than the others. According to him, that sidewalk shed has been up for 5 or 7 years, a very, very long time.
You shouldn't be proud of that. That's not an excuse.
Yeah.
I have two questions, but the first one is you just talked about 37th Street
Mhm.
and you said something about the contractor unloading his materials on the sidewalk on the west side of 37th Street. Can you explain that a little better?
So the idea would be, can you see my pointer? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the idea would be when he has to make deliveries of material, right? He'll drive the truck down the single lane of 37th Street, and there'll be a temporary hold while he unloads his material over the temporary sidewalk and stores it on this bridge. Because we're not doing any work on this bridge, this sidewalk will remain. So it gives him some lay down storage space.
So what do you mean? It's storage, but isn't going to stage things on the sidewalk?
So basically, like if you picture the delivery of the metal panels, he would bring the metal panels on a truck, unload them and put them here, and then install them along the bridge. As he works along, he'd just carry them along this sidewalk length, right? So he'd stay within the construction.
But it's not the sidewalk anymore. It's a construction,
Right, it
lane.
becomes a construction area. We use the sidewalk for construction staging, keeping
And then there is a
everybody in the
roadway for
blue
sidewalk.
pedestrian
Right.
walkway.
Got it. So that's fine. The second one is going back to 35th Street. I didn't understand why you had to go back and forth between the two sides like that.
So
Because
the only reason why is this one has nothing to do with anything except not being able to get the metal panels until April. So this one's being driven. Remember, I told you I had a number of issues that I'm dealing with. One of them,
I got it. So you have one part is done, but you don't have the panels. So
Right.
now you need to move to the north, and once you get the panels, you go back to the south.
well,
Or the
other way
reverse.
around, but
Right.
yes,
Okay.
that's it.
Because I know that the residents on that street are going to be exceptionally picky about the design of barriers.
Yeah,
So,
well, so
yes.
it'll look exactly like the barrier they currently have. It'll just be up against the parapet, the new parapet wall.
Okay.
So they'll have their sidewalk back and it'll be completely reopened.
Anybody else in the room wants to raise? No, we can go to David. David online.
Hi, yeah, I live in that building. So that scaffolding's been up for 10 years. And the landlord's, the reason why the work isn't being done, because he hires shoddy workers and stuff like that. So he's always, he's trying to bleed the building, so to speak, in a sense. So I don't know why DOB, I know this is out of your wheelhouse, but why DOB has allowed him to leave the scaffolding up for so long. Some apartment windows, especially on the second floor, their view is totally obscured. My window, I can't see the street. So, I mean, so this landlord, I think maybe you might have to work outside this landlord to get that scaffolding down. And that
So
would be enforcement with
Reached
DOB.
out to the DOB and, look, they're in a hard place too. There was a brick inspection done, which they were required to do. And there were repairs that were reported into the DOB as is required, right? The engineer architect who does the brick inspection turns in a report to the Department of Buildings that says there are issues here and repairs must be made in order to ensure safety. until those repairs are completed, the DOB cannot allow that sidewalk shed to come down.
But this is
Yeah,
going
but
on for
at the
10
same
years.
time-
I
At the same-
understand.
Yeah, at the same time, there are new laws which allow the DOB to give penalties to people
They
who
have
keep.
been penalizing. We've talked to this owner. He is paying a fortune for this.
Oh, well, as soon as you talk to the owner, I know he's going to cry to you. So this is not.
Well, no, I mean, he is paying monthly to keep that scaffolding and sidewalk.
No,
set
no,
up,
but they all do
and
that.
he's
They all
paying
do that.
DOB penalties every month. They've been.
Don't fall for the landlord.
Yeah.
But
This-
trust me,
I'm not. I'm just saying, yeah, he is paying and still he's not
Okay.
getting the repairs.
Trust me, if you and I had half the
We'll
money
write
or a
the
quarter
letter.
of the money he had, you'd be
Either
doing
that
very well.
Or
Yeah.
So look, I
on
think the point is well taken, and we've been talking with the Department of Buildings, and we need to sort of ultimately DOB needs to make sure that this scaffolding, this shed is removed in a manner that allows us to proceed with our
No,
work.
Yeah.
Not forgetting about the fact that, by the way, it also protrudes onto Port Authority property, and we've dug far and deep, and there's technically no agreement for them to have even built that on Port Authority property.
Right.
So we would take that separately, right? But we
Right.
are working through DOB, but we're not letting this
We'll
delay
write a-
our overall schedule, right?
We're gonna
I mean,
we'll write a letter to DOB demanding they take scaffolding down, or we do a transportation committee day of service and get out there and we'll take it down ourselves.
But Hirsch.
No, but if he's having problems with his bricks, the thing is, he's got to hire a legitimate person to handle the bricks, and that's
No, we
that's
got
where
that.
the issue lies. I don't believe, I could be wrong. This is a speculation. He's hiring.
Yeah, we
quality
got
people.
that. You already said that.
Yeah, I mean,
So
look, I think
first-
if the community board wants to send a letter to DOB about this, I think we would certainly welcome that, just to sort of add more ammunition to the conversations that we've been having as well.
But the first, you made a point which is interesting. If they are on your property, you could also ask for payment and start to extract payments from them. And so we could collectively add to the pain so that it goes away. So just a suggestion.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't engaged with our law department fully yet, because we're trying to do this in a good neighbor way as opposed to the big bad government way.
Right.
But
10 years. Okay, we got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so resolution is anybody from the public wants to speak? No. So the resolution would be that we accept the new schedule, and we thank you for the update. We really are very stressed by this scaffolding, and we encourage you to do all the necessary pressure so that the scaffolding goes down. Whatever you have to do, and then we'll send a letter to DOB and
Great.
copy the elected officials and say, this has to come down. This has been 10 years.
Are these two separate letters or one letter?
It's two letters.
Two letters.
Right.
Okay. Well, so okay.
Yeah.
Do we need the second letter to them? Do we need to, or was this just an update?
No, we don't need a second
Yeah.
update. Right, same
Yeah,
letter.
yeah,
We just need the,
We just need the
The
DOB
DOB
letter.
letter.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's just do the DOB letter.
all right. So do we have a resolution, a motion?
For letter of the
Second.
DOB that to have
Yeah.
them get this
All in
scaffolding down.
favor? Yes.
Alright.
David and then Liam.
Ellen's on there as well.
Yeah.
Ellen is
down
on there.
Yeah, Ellen's there.
Hey, I vote yay.
Yeah. Ellen,
Sorry, I don't totally understand. Is it two separate resolutions that we're voting on?
We're just doing one, sorry, we're just doing one.
One
just a
combined
letter.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in
Right.
favor.
Great.
and then Liam has not voted.
I voted yes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Great.
All right, we can see you. All right, well, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Thank
Tanya and Carol
Thank you for
and
the time.
Hirsch.
Thank you.
And we appreciate all the progress, and we need to work together to address the issues. Okay?
I
Thank
just
you so
want to say,
much.
Christine, we'll follow up with an updated community bulletin, and just wanted to mention that we have been in ongoing coordination with the Business Improvement District. regarding, planters that needed to be relocated. So
good.
we've been in communication with Patty and Dan, and we have another walkthrough scheduled with them for the next phase. So just wanted to
Great.
mention that, and we'll follow up on an updated community bulletin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. So our next item is an intercity bus permit application for luxury vans and shuttle on 11th Avenue.
Yes, you, sir.
Yes.
Hey, thank you. When you speak, just know that the microphone is here, so
And if you
either
can
project very
this
very
thing-
far or
System
What's that?
extension.
on. But that's on, or you just project so that they can hear him. And if anyone online has trouble hearing, if anyone online has trouble hearing, let us know. Go ahead.
Appreciate it. If you'd be so kind to upload the presentation that I forwarded over.
Yes, Janine will do that.
Yep,
Janine,
I'm gonna bring it up right now.
thank you very much. It's, well, maybe we should go, do you mind going to the front desk and asking them the stuff? Yeah, well, if we clearly don't know how to. But normally, I've been in here on much colder days and it's been very hot in here, so like, yeah. Maybe the AC just on, yeah.
All right, can everyone see that?
Yeah.
Yes, awesome.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me both here in person and remote as well?
See nods.
David,
Yes.
yeah,
Big
Ellen,
nods, great.
yes.
I hear.
I get you.
All right, thank you, David. All right, so I'm Kenneth. I'm representing luxury van and shuttle bus today. We operate both in New Jersey as well as New York City. Next slide, please.
Janine?
Thank you so much. So Luxury is a licensed transportation provider operating in NYC and beyond. We specialize in scheduled charters, transfers, along with intercity prearranged transportation. We really love to focus on safety, professionalism, and community conscious operations. Some of our partners involve universities, colleges, corporate clients, private groups and contract transportation, as well as direct airline and commercial transfers. So that tends to be our strong foundation with Luxury. So we're really passionate about that. Highlighting our mission, providing safe, reliable, and respectful transportation, meet and maintain full compliance with DOT and the community board. And we are aiming to deliver high standard service that reflects positivity within the neighborhood as well. Next slide, please. So I want to emphasize on this service overview. So this bus stop will be on the 11th Avenue between West 37th Street and West 38th Street. So just across the street from the Javits Center. This direct transportation will be from NYC to Ithaca, providing support for students, families and visitors, and of course, the residents traveling between the regions. Oh, so sorry, excuse me. I want to emphasize on this is reservation based only. Okay, so there's not going to be sidewalk crowding or lines. So there's no walk-up passengers, no ticket sales. I know we've tended to see that, especially in Times Square or a little bit further out. All the riders are going to be pre-registered with scheduled departure times, which will naturally prevent queues and gatherings. Passenger flow is going to be controlled and predictable. So this is a scheduled reservation only, as I said. Vehicles are going to arrive near the departure times. So let's say if we had something at 7 o'clock, they're going to arrive anywhere between, let's say, 6:45, 6:50. So again, we want to remove that opportunity of having those gatherings on the sidewalk. Equipped with a personal greeter, they're going to assist with registering and loading efficiently, and they're going to depart immediately. There's going to be no idling, no staging. Luxury really wants to focus on the no standing and staging. It creates a significant impact on the community. Me personally, I've lived on the east side and west side, so I have a general understanding on how this affects the local community and the residents. So, as we know, no extended idling is prohibited, so our vehicles are going to operate under a load and depart model. Very short and sweet, stopping briefly for boarding and then departing immediately. We want the impact on the community to be minimal. In and out, there are no prolonged stops, no passenger gatherings, and no extended engine operation. Keynote there, so when they are loading, the vehicle is going to be turned off. Obviously, in the colder winter months, as we proceed into the under 32, I think we all know the last couple of weeks have been freezing. Obviously they'll idle, but again, it's gonna be a very short loading time. Our commitment again, for us is eliminating the walk-up service and curbside solicitation. Every passenger vehicle movement is scheduled. Next slide, please. The benefits for this is gonna reduce the reliance on the private vehicles or the public transportation, safer, reliable, structured. I don't know about you, but I like familiar reality. Some of you probably remember your school bus driver in second or third grade. We wanna create that environment. So when you go in on Tuesdays, you know that Pat or Jane is gonna be your driver. That's something that I'm looking for. It's pretty cool. The driver and computer assistance. White glove service. I've been in the industry for over 15 years. To me, I want to treat everybody like my grandmother, my friend, my family member, so that when they come in, they're treated with respect and courtesy. All of our all of our drivers go through a thorough training, highlighting safety, cleanliness, and this mirrors our well-maintained luxury vehicles. We are compliant with DOT regulations, and all of our vehicles that are going to be on this route are going to be ADA equipped. Minimal stops are going to increase our punctuality for arrival times as well. Next slide, please. I want everyone to understand what to expect. I've covered the shorter control loading times, the extended standing idling, the no long-term parking, but this is not going to be a high frequency shuttle. This is going to operate 1 to 2 times a day. The bus comes in, does what it has to do, and then it leaves. And then you'll probably see the same cycle approximately 12 hours later. In and out, that's it. If you're not there, you're probably gonna miss it. Our commitment is safety, efficiency, 24 hours a day. So should anything happen during the duration of that, from the beginning, the middle to the end, we have 24/7 dispatch. We also have enough vehicles to provide support should a vehicle break down. I don't know about you, but I've experienced that. There's nothing worse than having the inconvenience of being stuck on the side of the road. Hot weather, freezing temperatures. We have a efficient response time with drivers and dispatch to dispatch the replacement vehicle to wherever that location is, as well as a mobile mechanic service as well. So if let's say if it's a coolant hose, we have a mobile mechanic that'll be able to come to the site and provide repairs so that way we can send the same best to their location. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So closing this, we want you to ride smart, ride luxurious. I appreciate everybody's time, patience, and potential consideration. Our intent is to benefit the community with structured transportation, reducing reliance on private vehicles, and creating a predictable activity. I myself am a director of a community board, and this request and future operation will continue through a lens that ensures the surrounding environment has the community interest always.
Yay. Sorry, first, what, you're a chair of a community board?
Yeah.
Which community board?
For our amendment,
Oh, cool, great. Second, well, this is the first time we're seeing, these are the photos of the buses that you'll be using. We are wasn't sure.
So
What are they? What their capacity is?
Sure. So these are actually our display of our 40s or our 36 passenger vehicles. This is actually a flight crew between the two pictures that are merged. So both of them are, one is a 36 passenger and one is a 40 seat passenger. Both of those chauffeurs are top chauffeurs. They're actually in the top 5 for safety and compliance. The motor coach vehicles that we'll be using are 56 passengers. You'll lose anywhere between 4 to 6 rows with the ADA. You'll be able to fit 2 wheelchairs on the rear of the bus. And both of those motor coaches are equipped with a restroom as well. But like I said, they're all registered, numbered. So our passengers will be able to, if they want to sit in the front behind the driver, they'll be able to get 1A or 2C.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Please.
So you're taking them away.
Mhm.
Are you bringing anybody back?
Yes, great question. So sometimes some of the services, you pick them up, you drive them off, and then that's it, goodbye. So we'll actually have a rotation where either the bus driver will remain staging, right, in a secured area, or we'll send another bus to go pick up that passenger and then come back. So that's similar to our partner line. We're actually partnering with Flix Bus. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. So that's a similar line that we run to Boston.
And so when you come back, you're unloading the passenger in the same place?
Yes, so this will act as a pickup and a drop as well.
Okay, fine.
The hours?
The hours will, We're looking to start, I believe, around 6 a.m., 7 a.m., because we want to get ahead of that traffic, so you can efficiently drop off in Ithaca, and then probably the same pattern, 6 p.m., same routine on the way back from. Yes.
What's the fare one way?
That is a good question. That would be a question directed to Akram, our compliance manager, but we want this to be competitive and affordable for all of our passengers. Ideally, this can range anywhere, I wanna say maybe to $50 to $125, depending on the time frequency and other factors.
Okay,
Any other questions?
no, okay, so we'll have, we would do a letter of support,
Members of the public?
members of the public. There's no one,
Okay.
okay, thank you. So we'd have a letter of support and essentially based on what you discussed, we are very concerned here about idling. So that's critical. And I think the rest of it is pretty simple.
Taylor, yep, no doubt.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Yes, second, favor? What about Ellen?
Yeah,
David?
David. I'm sure Liam is.
Liam is gone.
And Liam's gone.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah, Dave covered the person too.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right.
okay, so our next big topic is request to relocate a food truck on the corner of 58th and 9th Avenue. Who is here? Brandon?
Hi, how are you?
Okay. So tell us about this problem a little bit, not too long if you could.
Sure, I have a PDF that I gave to Janine for some
Janine, can you load
pictures.
that, the presentation?
Yeah, I'm bringing it up right now.
Okay.
Janine, if you could just pull up, there you go. Thank you. So first, I'd like to thank you for your time. I've been working for over 3 years to find a resolution to the issues I will present. Some of my neighbors and fellow community members have been trying for even longer. This opportunity is greatly appreciated. Truly, I can't tell you enough. I hope we can work together to find a reasonable, lawful, and permanent solution. I provided a PDF to keep documents and pictures organized and as brief as possible. I'm presenting on behalf of myself, residents of 345 West 58th Street and 30 West 60th, known as the Coliseum, and the surrounding neighborhood. We urgently request your attention and action regarding an ongoing, deeply disruptive situation at the northeast corner of 58th Street and 9th Avenue. Since as early as 2022, Mido's food truck has taken up permanent residence directly outside our building, operating around the clock, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is unlawful, has severely diminished our quality of life, and has created an environment that is noisy, unsanitary, and unsafe. If you go to the first slide, please.
It's a nice, good picture. Yeah.
These pictures illustrate the unrelenting grill exhaust, which enters bedrooms, living rooms, and bathrooms day and night with the constant odor of frying meat and making it impossible to keep windows open, even early in the morning or late at night. Fresh air is not an option for us. Next slide, please. Garbage and food waste attracting rats, pigeons, and other vermin. These are grease puddles from the truck along with food waste from customers. Next slide, please. You can see on the sidewalk the grease and food stains due to how long Mido's has been operating in this space. Next slide, please. Double and triple parking by dining TLC drivers and other vehicles resulting in traffic and noise disruptions. Most dangerously, ambulances dispatched from Mount Sinai cannot make quick turns on 58th Street due to the illegal parking of TLC drivers delaying their response time. Next slide, please. On the south side of the street in a no standing zone, taxi and for hire car services use this zone to park and dine from Mido's. They are there so often that they hang garbage bags from the signpost. You can also see next to the curb all the trash left by the TLC drivers. The yellow bags are the Mido's bags. The next slide, please. Generator noise and unsafe placement of generators outside of the truck obstructing a moving traffic lane. This generator can always be heard inside our homes all morning, all day, and all night. There are times when I have measured the generator sound at 85 decibels inside my living room and bedroom. Next slide, please. Bright lights and a scrolling marquee shining directly into our windows at night. This is one of the truck's aspects that makes Mito's presence so difficult for residents. The lights are so bright at night, they permeate blinds and curtains. It even comes around the edges of blackout shades illuminating the room. All of the light in this picture is from Mito's. There was no other light source in this photo. Next slide, please. That's another illustration of how bright it is. Next slide. The truck can operate at this location 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year by violating the health department mandate of visiting a commissary once per day. This evasion of the law is made possible by daily deliveries of meat, produce, propane, gasoline, and other vendors. The white van in the top picture comes roughly 5 times a day with supplies. You can see a red gasoline canister near the bumper that will be used to refill the generator. The middle picture is a double parked truck delivering propane tanks. The bottom picture is a refrigerated truck that delivers meat and produce. All of these vehicles are double parked during their stay. Next slide, please. This is page 13 of the New York City Department's Health Guide for Food Vendors. It clearly states, quote, "You must clean and service your food vending unit at least once every day. This must be done at a commissary or at another place approved by the health department." Next slide. This is a supplies delivery van being ticketed for double parking, illustrating the delivery van knows that they are part of the problem but persist. Next slide. Sidewalk congestion caused by crowds gathering near the truck, along with many e-delivery bikes and their drivers waiting for delivery orders on the sidewalk. Mito's has service from every major delivery and pickup service, including Seamless, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and Postmates. They are listed as a fast food location on Google Maps and provide links for delivery and pickup services. Next slide, please. Mito's violates food vendor parking rules by vending from a metered zone. This zone is meant for temporary commercial vehicles. The Coliseum consists of 2 15-story buildings, requiring daily commercial vehicles for service. We are constantly out of shortage of commercial spaces due to Mito's permanent location. Next slide, please. Other nuisances created by the permanence of the truck range from cigarette smoke coming into our apartments, drunken gatherings until 4 a.m. This man is urinating on the front of the truck. Next slide, please. Even late night muggings and stabbings. These photos are from this past October when a customer was waiting for their food at 1 a.m. There was an attempt to mug her. Another man stepped in and was stabbed by the mugger. As you can see, the crime scene is taped off and there are cups overturned marking blood stains on the sidewalk. You can also see Mito's continue to operate through this. The picture also illustrates how the truck uses our private property to secure their overflowing garbage bags, their garbage pails, again, the yellow Mito bags. The fence and tree are property of the Coliseum. You can also see an e-bike picking up delivery. Next slide, please. One of the most dangerous and egregious examples of Mito's misuse of this space and disrespect to the Coliseum and surrounding community happened this last Tuesday, February 10th. We had an apartment fire on the 7th floor of 345 West 58th Street. There was a very large, quote, all hands response from fire and EMT. This fire required access to the fire hydrants by multiple fire trucks. When the fire trucks arrived, Mito's was parked in the same spot as they had been for many years, dangerously close to the most western fire hydrant on 58th Street. Next slide, please. Wasting precious time, the truck had to reposition itself further towards 9th Avenue to get clear access to the hydrant. Throughout this 3-hour ordeal, Mito's never attempted to move or cease operations to improve sidewalk congestion. It would take them time to upend their operation since their generator is always outside the truck blocking the second lane. The truck is also on steel tire craters that would have to be moved. Next slide, please. You can see under the truck is a steel cradle, which all 4 tires are on. When used for long-term parking, these cradles provide stability and decrease pressure on the tires. This is also a frozen puddle of grease. Early on, residents of the Coliseum verbally engaged with the owner and workers of Mito's, expressing their concerns with no change to their behavior. The owner, Mohammed, also admitted to me that he had been driven out of his prior location near John Jay College and Mount Sinai Hospital due to the same issues we are having with him. Despite numerous 311 complaints and submitted photo evidence, enforcement was inconsistent at best. Many complaints were closed within an hour, stating, quote, no issue was found, even when clear violations are visible. Next slide, please. After years of trying to achieve results through 311 NYPD and NYPD traffic enforcement, I started a petition from residents from the Coliseum this past June. I collected about 100 signatures in just a few days. Next slide. These are the signatures. In the next slide, please. The signature, along with the detailed petition was sent to CM Brewer's office on June 18th. Next slide. After many emails and phone calls with CM staff, a letter was sent in July. I'm sorry, the prior slide was a letter sent in July to the acting commissioner of the NYC Department of Sanitation and CC the district manager of CB4, shown in this slide. It outlined our concerns and asked for an investigation of MIDOs. In late July, I was able to schedule a site visit with CM Brewer for late August. The day before the visit, it was canceled due to CM's team thinking it was a redundant visit since the CM had a site visit in Columbus Circle the week prior. Although the Columbus Circle visit did not include 9th Avenue or any matter regarding the truck. I voiced my frustrations and was able to have a very brief call with CM Brewer the next day. She heard my concerns and said she would resolve the solution. Next slide, please. In late September, after many follow-ups with the CM's office, I received a forward of the acting commissioner's response from the July letter. His team conducted 4 inspections on August 20, 22, 25, and 27. Each time the truck was issued a summons for vending in a metered space. After the November elections, I asked CM Brewer's team to let her know that my neighbors and I are very frustrated with the lack of progress and response. I informed her team that although CM Brewer ran unopposed in the election, I did not cast a vote for her, and it encouraged my neighbors to do the same. After a few days later, CM Brewer called. Unfortunately, I missed the call. I have reached out to her office many times since November and have not heard back from her office. I feel like CB4 is the last resort for finding a solution to this unlawful, disruptive, and disrespectful use of New York City public and private space. It may seem like this is a not in my backyard situation. It is clearly not. Midos pulls business from surrounding mom and pop shops who operate according to the law and pay rent and taxes for the storefronts they occupy. Amore Pizza Cafe and the Flame Diner, who occupy the other corners of 58th and 9th, are bustling businesses that are patronized by our community. They also operate 24 hours without disrespect or disruption to the community. They are immigrant entrepreneurs who we are grateful to have as part of our neighborhood. I can implore you to have Midos permanently relocated from this location. The DOT, CM Brewer, and previously Eric Botcher, NYPD, TEA, and 311 have all been aware of this for years with no action. A few months ago, I was told by an NYPD officer during a 311 response to Midos that this location and truck have been flagged as a, quote, chronic location for the Midtown North Precinct, yet still no action. We are asking for a direct intervention to permanently relocate Mido's food truck away from 58th Street and 9th Avenue to an appropriate vending avenue, enforce existing vending and sidewalk street use regulations, restore much needed commercial parking spots on 58th Street. Most importantly, restore safe pedestrian access and reduce traffic hazards. We invite you to visit our block and witness this situation firsthand. Again, thank you for your time.
Thank you. It's depressing. I can't bravo for sticking with it, but you know, this is one of those things which is very difficult. Anybody has any question? Yes.
Oh, I actually pass by, I walk around that street all the time because I take the subway on Columbus Circle. And I passed by yesterday and noticed that it felt empty, and I think it was because the Midas truck was gone. Do you know whether they've been moving it lately?
It was because JD Vance was doing a fundraiser on the block, I believe inside the Deutsche Bank Center. So that was actually the first time that truck had not been there in almost 5 years. And then it was promptly back as soon as Secret Service allowed them. But they were the last to leave the block because it took them time to pick up their generator.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Frankly, I tried to bring this to the community board, but was told that it was a precinct issue rather than a food truck issue. But having said that, since it is on the agenda, this is a definite problem. And frankly, I think he sort of played down a little bit the problem because there are apartments with children And elderly that can, I mean, I don't understand how the fumes go into their apartment, but somehow they
I
seep
can
in.
tell you if you'd like.
Oh, one second. I mean, it happens. The bottom line is it doesn't, it's just a reality. And the truth is, this truck doesn't move, and NYPD has not done anything about it. It is constantly, I mean, the food must be fabulous. Quite honestly, I live at 30, but I've never had the food, but it is the most popular truck because there are always people standing there, eating there, whatever. I don't know what our capability is of moving
Well,
the
let's
truck.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Right, yes,
So, to be clear, what this truck is doing is illegal,
yes,
but there's no enforcement.
Right.
So, okay, I wasn't sure what was happening and why it was allowed for how many years to go on like this, like.
yeah.
So, okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Anybody else?
I might have an idea that might be able to help. The problem, from what you're telling me, is tremendous fire code violations. One, when the fire company was there, you said they did not move the truck from when there was a fire. That truck was probably issued a criminal summons, because if you're blocking a fire hydrant, especially during a fire operation, you now go to criminal court. That's number one. Number two is, you mentioned propane tanks. How are they storing those propane tanks? Are they storing them properly? They need certain permits to do that. And people need certain certificate of fitness to do that by the fire department. The gasoline is another red flag. When you see them with that gasoline, I don't know how long it takes, but if it takes a while, I would call 911 and say there are people there playing with gasoline, transferring gasoline, because you need certain certificates and certain ways to store gasoline. So you really, if you could research this and then get someone from the fire department there, that would be a big, because that sounds like what you're telling me is huge, fire problems also.
David, he's asking us to do something.
I understand that, but
Telling them to do something. I mean, I think
he's done so much research that it might be, if he could find, or maybe someone from the our community board could find out, the office, the staff could find out, are there permits for the propane? Are there, and range hood also, because part of the problem, the reason why there's such bad exhaust is because they have an improper range hood system. Restaurants have specific range hood systems, so that doesn't happen. And it sounds like there's an issue with the range hood, and that's.
If you have knowledge of those things, you can send us the text of that we can use in our letter, because you seem to know that, but that would be the best. Yes,
Brendan, I think
we lost.
Brendan, I think
Brendan.
in some of the material that you provided, you indicated the size of this business. Isn't that just a lone truck? From what I recall.
It is a lone truck.
But
It's
it's
just
part
one
of a
truck.
larger. But
No, it's
I
not.
thought
He
I
does.
read that he was part of a larger company network that owns many trucks in the city.
So I know of one other truck that operates, I believe, somewhere around 6th Avenue, Flatiron area. But what I was illustrating was that Mitos has themselves listed as a business, a fast food business on the corner of 58th and 9th. And when you go to Google Maps, you can place an order for pickup or delivery to or from the truck through every major service. So you have, the biggest problem is that you have the e-delivery bikes driving right up. They come right up onto the sidewalk and drive up to the truck. They'll do that all the way from in front of Deutsche Bank, all the way down to the truck, or they'll start in the crosswalk and drive up onto the sidewalk. And then some of them have even resorted to using our fence as their e-delivery bike storage place and just chaining them there. Because it's often a last stop for them, for themselves. They'll have a meal or even a urine break and then go on their way.
Ellen, comment? I'll continue.
Yeah, I think and we should definitely send a letter. It seems like you guys have done a lot. I'm not super confident that a letter from us is going to do a lot for you guys. I do think that you at this point are entitled, you have, good documentation of damages. And I think that you should think about suing the city for not enforcing their own health code and their own traffic laws, because it's caused you guys real damages. So I think that you should think seriously about that. And you wouldn't have to sue this one independent operator. I think you could sue the city. I think at this point, that's pretty outrageous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should definitely send a letter. I just think you should be realistic about the kind of outcome you expect. Because we're going to CC all the people that you've already dealt with.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, actually, Brad, I was gonna say something along the same lines. Well, one, do you have his license number on hand?
I have everything.
Can you
Do you want
send
it
us?
right now?
Yeah, if you could just.
Well, no, send it to us by
us.
email.
And that'd be great. Then have you spoken to the comptroller's office at all?
The comptroller? No.
So he would be, his office is kind of in charge of when you want to sue the city and you want to claim damages against the city. You could really claim damages against any agency in the city by the comptroller's office. But his office might be really helpful if you have not engaged with him yet.
Okay, thank you.
So what I was going to suggest is there are multiple avenues here. One is, they have a parking space for 3 hours.
Right.
We could immediately ask for reducing that to 1 hour at a time.
Why would that make a difference if they're not listening to the parking space right now?
Well, because then the cops have more opportunities to come and give a ticket.
More tickets.
Right, more tickets, right? It's like, not giving every 3 hours, you don't get the tickets and you have one.
What
The
about
second-
an industrial tow truck? If they were removed by investments?
Hold on. We are not controlling the tow trucks. So we're, the other thing is the health department. They are clearly not complying with the health department. So we could have a separate letter or in the same letter, something which says you have to go and enforce this guy. He's not doing anything that is supposed to be done.
And sanitation as well, and sanitation, DSNY.
Why is sanitation?
All the pollution causing all the detritus. Right.
It's not sanitation, it's DEP, right?
Well, it's both. I mean, sanitation, DEP, DOT.
Who regulates the street cards? Who regulates?
That's the Department of
And
Health.
sanitation.
And sanitation and DOT for using the parking, etc. And then the final thing is that so we could do all of that and then again, send one letter to Midtown North and saying, what the heck are you doing? This guy is there, 24 hours and.
Don't forget the fire department either. That is huge violations.
But, since 2020, it's been sanitation that's been regulating food trucks. It's the cleanliness and safety.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
Just,
sanitation.
if I could just
And
throw
then-
in real quick.
Yes.
Sorry. There was a letter that went out in June to the Department of Sanitation, the Department of Health, and the Department of Environmental Protection. There was a letter that also went out to Midtown North Precinct and the Manhattan Borough Commissioner, Danielle Zuckerman. So everyone has been notified at least once.
Yeah.
Right, so now what we are doing is adding the community board layer on that.
Yes.
And then copying our elected officials, like the assembly, the state, everybody we can, the controller, sending that to everybody and say, something is really wrong here. Which Tina has been saying, but it's such a complicated issue, but the documentation is excellent. I mean, that is a very, very good documentation and Charles Todd.
Yeah, that's Charlie.
Hey, guys. Sorry I couldn't be here for the whole meeting. I'm out of town. But first of all, I just want to say this is an incredible presentation from Brendan. And it's also just such a sad, pathetic indictment that our city can't remove a truck for 5 years. I just had a clarifying question. Christine, you mentioned changing the regulations from 3 hours to 1 hour. They're not buying a new parking pass every 3 hours for 5 years, right? They're just not paying at all?
They don't pay at all. When when the NYPD TEA, Traffic Enforcement Agency, comes to our block, they'll ticket everyone except them. And then
That's
they'll
the question,
usually grab some food.
right?
And I think that's indicative of our whole neighborhood.
Because probably the mayor said, hey, the delivery people, you know, the vendors, the truck, all this is like a category that nobody wants to touch, right? So if they got that message from the top, that's where we are.
Yeah.
It's
there's
a
a member
very
of the public.
political, yeah, where,
I don't know, but someone from the public,
oh, yeah.
Susan?
Susan, yes. The usual suspects. Just kidding. Susan, you want to, me
Yeah,
move those?
she's coming over.
Okay. She's a panelist now. Susan, you have to unmute yourself.
Old lady
Susan?
got it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, got it.
This, from what I understand, this is the owner of more than one or two trucks. This is not like we're feeling sorry for some entrepreneur immigrant has a good business going. He has not done anything right. He belongs in the commissary daily for cleaning. He has to leave, and he hasn't left.
We agree.
The windows of the people who are on that side, the screens are full of grease, and the windows are constantly hazed over from the grease from the smoke, water smoke. He has not paid the meters, so the city is losing money. The fire department the other night opted not to go to a hydrant right behind him, although I don't know quite the distance. They went to other hydrants along the sidewalk on 9th Avenue. They rerouted their hoses around the corner. So he just sat there and kept going. He's
Right.
also, as much as he has a good business going, he is hurting Amore and the diner, where people could pick up food on their way to school or on their way to the hospital or back. So we want to protect the vendor at the expense of people who are paying rent in our stores. I could go on, but I'll let you be.
No, I don't think that's the, you know, I think we have to stick with the specific arguments of.
But you want to fix the things, and I want him out. I can't imagine that it's fair to allow him to fix these things at this point.
Susan, when we are suggesting it, and there are a lot of, you know, summonses and a lot of money, etc., you know, that's the only way that you can move that out. Then if the guy wants to come for half an hour and then leave, then he has to leave. And you get him for half an hour instead of 24 hours. I think that's a win.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like you want it out, but this is not, we don't have a platform here to pull people out except making them comply, and the compliance become too burdensome, right? Yes.
Brandon, I just wanted to ask you in terms of the response from your landlord, because obviously you guys have had some collective issues, but yeah, but what?
We
I mean,
are
just as
we
a
are
business, yeah, have they
we
done
are a co-op.
They
They really don't want it. The board of our building doesn't really want to get involved. That's yeah. They have gone out a couple times but they feel like this is a street issue, a sidewalk issue. You know, they just it's outside of what they want to deal with.
Brandon, if you have to meeting out to the comptroller's office to file like a claim or a court or a suit or whatever, have you reached out to the public advocate's office yet? It's one more layer of government. So he's the ombudsman for the city, right? So he could oversee all city agencies and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and he really has the best interest of the residents at heart. It's an office that many people forget about, but
Yeah.
yeah,
we could copy them.
yeah. But the public advocate's really, really good for stuff like this as well.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so I think we know what we want to do. We want to send 20 letters.
It'll be one letter CC to, it'll have to be one letter
Yes.
CC
Right.
to all of these people.
And then,
Make
and
clear-
then.
But we can bullet what,
We
their-
can
we can
let
bullet
the
what their
fire
each
department-
responsibility
Right,
is
it's
for each of those
exactly,
agencies and how they're failing
and we'll
their
use,
particular enforcement.
and we'll use their,
Yes.
all the documentation you have
Yes,
given
yeah.
us, which is
Amazing,
excellent.
thank you. Can we
excellent.
append your, can we append your presentation to our letter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I can also send you my remarks, because what I spoke to you is obviously written down, so I
Yeah,
can
that
send
would
you
be
that as
great.
well. Yeah,
That would
it's
be
very
great.
detailed.
Yeah, that would be great. So thank you for doing that. Tina was right. It's a big problem, but this is a very good document to take care of it, you know. I mean, we need that done for us.
Nope.
Wonderful.
So do we have a motion for this letter? Yes.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Okay. Yes, Charles and Charlie and Ellen and Liam.
Great.
Okay, thank you so much, and
Thank you so
really,
much. Thank you.
we are with you.
Thank you.
Let's skip to
Help.
Sam's because we have a presenter who's been waiting for a while now.
Oh, really?
Kevin, yeah.
Kevin
So-
is, so we're.
So
going to-
Janine, can we skip to item number 6, implementing Sammy's Law, and move Kevin Lachera over to present?
Sure.
Well, we're gonna skip and then we'll come back. This was.
We can skip going.
Yeah.
Put it.
Spiraling, yeah, thank God. Actually, this one done good tonight. I'm actually not getting the time pressure usually, you know. I'm just.
You look like you're under pressure.
Oh, I think it's like you look like shit. But in Miami on Friday, I will get sun, it's
Oh,
been.
you are? Oh, that's what you
I have
want.
not left the city since September.
Oh, my God.
Kevin is over now.
Who's here? I don't see.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
thanks Kevin, thanks for thanks for your patience.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. It's just another version of Brooklyn Community Board 1.
Yes.
I'm no stranger to these types of conversations. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So you are giving us a little presentation on
Sammy's Law.
Sammy's Law?
Yes, I can, you know,
How to apply it to our neighborhood, right?
absolutely. I know that I'm sure that a lot of you are pretty familiar with this already, but just very briefly, my name is Kevin Lachera. I'm not in Manhattan CB4. I'm in Brooklyn CB1, Greenpoint and Williamsburg. I had been on this meeting back when not presenting, but I had attended when you all had discussed universal daylighting. I'd been involved in that effort and really appreciated Manhattan CB4's leadership on that. And kind of similar to that effort with a lot of community boards talking about trying to make these types of improvements, you know, to help move city policy forward. There's been a number of boards in recent history that have been passing resolutions asking for implementation of Sammy's Law. So I can get into my presentation that kind of goes over some of the basics and particulars. I believe there's also I'm not sure if they're on here, but I know there was someone joining from Families for Safe Streets. I'm not from Families for Safe Streets, though this is a Families for Safe Streets presentation. I'm just working with them. A wonderful organization, important organization.
If you're online from Families for Safe Streets and would like to talk, and you know, you raise your hand and we can move you over if you happen to be here representing them. But otherwise, Kevin, we'll just let you. Oh, there you go, Alexis. It looks like Alexis. Janine, do you mind?
Yeah, but he's in the public.
Yeah, I'm bringing
It
Alexis
sounds like
over.
they're saying that they're doing a joint presentation with somebody who said.
Yeah, there's a couple slides in here that I can do it myself, but
Yeah, give us some slides.
Great. All right, take it away.
Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Give me 1 second. Okay. There we go.
All right.
All right,
I'll
you
give
did okay?
Yes.
Great, fantastic. So if Alexis is on here, she can speak to this, or we can come back to it. But Alexis, are you on?
Yeah, hi. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you so much, Manhattan CB4 for having us today. And I will say we had a FSS member who was hoping to be able to join, but she wasn't able to. But FSS member Elizabeth De La Barre actually lives in Community Board 4 and wanted to toss in her support for this as well. But Families for Safe Streets were an organization that's made up of people who have been affected by traffic violence, people who have lost loved ones or themselves been injured or do caretaking for someone who was injured in a car crash. We work with over 700 people across New York City and New York State who have been affected by traffic violence. And we have a two-pronged mission where we provide a lot of support services. I work very closely with a social worker who helps navigate things immediately post-crash and helps with support groups and other logistical assistance. And then the other side of our work is advocacy and trying to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else. So we advocate for safe speeds, safe streets, safe vehicles, supporting victims, and really prioritizing the most vulnerable road users. So thank you so much for having us.
Great. Thank you, Alexis. All right, I'm going to move on here to the picture of the problem as it is. Last year, there was 206 people killed in traffic crashes in New York City, one person every 42 hours. And out of those deaths, the majority were pedestrians. In Manhattan CB4, now it's not. Oh my goodness, I apologize. The map is not coming up. Oh no, there it is. I'm sorry. There were 1,429 total crashes with 613 injuries and 3 deaths. One person whom we know the name of, and then 2 others who we do not know the names of. This is what it looks like on Crash Mapper. Kind of evenly spread out throughout the district generally, but the orange circles there are injuries, yellows are crashes, and reds are deaths. When we reduce speeds, we reduce those injuries, we reduce those deaths, we reduce those crashes. When we reduce speeds to 20 miles per hour, a person hit at 20 miles per hour is only 8% likely to be killed in that crash, whereas at 30 miles an hour, that is 20%. So there's a tremendous difference, and that has to come down to stopping distances. Speed and visibility and driver distraction are the 3 primary things that cause injuries and crashes. And Sammy's Law and the protections brought by Sammy's Law allow us to help address speed. Just another way of showing that chart. Pretty stark difference even over the course of a couple miles an hour difference along the chart. In 2014, between 2014 and 2024, advocates from Families for Safe Streets and so many other allied organizations, elected officials, friends, neighbors, fought for Sammy's Law at the state level. Basically a law giving New York City the power to set its own speed limits on residential streets, to lower those speed limits from 25 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour, to give us that home rule power and ability. That bill finally passed in 2024. What it did was it gave New York City the power to lower its speed limits. It did not require New York City to lower its speed limits. And so the ball was then kicked to the mayor, at the time, Mayor Adams, who did not exactly jump to implementing it at that broad of a scale. At this point, only 1.5% of all city streets have been given kind of the Sammy's Law treatment. The first was Canal Street, Manhattan, the island of Manhattan south of Canal Street, was the first neighborhood-wide slow zone that the mayor implemented. So it's all of Manhattan CB1 and a little bit of Manhattan CB3. And then he followed up later in 2025. designating 4 other neighborhood-wide slow zones: the neighborhood of St. George on Staten Island, City Island in the Bronx, Broad Channel in Queens, and Dumbo in Brooklyn. Obviously welcome improvements, but pretty small neighborhoods as far as things go. We're given that Sammy's Law treatment. Community boards have stepped up to kind of ask for our fair share. In February of 2025, Brooklyn CB1 passed a resolution asking to be a district-wide slow zone, similar to Manhattan CB1. We were not, unfortunately, given that designation, but we put the ask out there. In February of 2026, Queen CB2 unanimously passed, I'm very jealous of their unanimous vote, passed a resolution calling for the same. And at present time, there's about a dozen other boards around the city that are active discussion about similar resolutions. On the campaign trail, Mayor Mamdani, now Mayor Mamdani, expressed his support for broad implementation of Sammy's Law, actually for citywide implementation of Sammy's Law. And so the ask is for Manhattan CB4 to consider passing a resolution asking for a district-wide slow zone. It's within the mayor's power and ability to implement, within a particular zone. Citywide, it's a little bit more legally fuzzy. But if they can do it in Manhattan CB1, they can do it in Manhattan CB4 or Brooklyn CB1 or so on and so forth. So just very briefly, where does Sammy's Law apply? It allows New York City to lower its speed limits to 20 miles an hour with posted signage, except on roads with 3 or more motor vehicle travel lanes outside of Manhattan. So, and it also does not include state roads. So some districts already have slow zones. There's no current 20-mile-per-hour areas in any part of CB4. The only place it would not be applicable would be on the West Side Highway. So that's just a quick map of kind of the general speed limits. Right now, it is 25 miles an hour throughout, except for out on the West Side Highway. Is kind of the current picture of it. And so just kind of a very basic, you all know your district better than me, and all the particulars and things you might want to include. Queen CB2 added quite a bit of their local conditions and their concerns to their resolution. But just basically on its head, it's saying, that the board is asking the DOT to institute a district-wide 20-mile-per-hour slow zone. Alexis, do you want to just speak to this for a moment?
Yeah, I do. I just want to reiterate that we have support services available, and traffic violence really can happen to anyone. No one is immune. So if you or someone has been involved in a crash, or their loved one has been involved in a crash, or they've lost someone, we are here to provide support. And I can connect you directly with our with the social worker, or if you would like to turn your pain into action, we can also do that. So just want to reiterate that Families for Safe Streets is available for anybody who's been affected by traffic violence, and we want to make sure that people know that they're not alone in this.
I'm going to stop the share there. Yeah, I think similar to daylighting, this is something that community boards across the city can step up and do and speak on and take a position on that I think would be tremendously impactful. Again, speed, visibility, and driver distraction are the 3 primary causes of crashes. So, this is 1 out of 3, along with daylighting is 2 out of 3. Something that the mayor could do tomorrow if he was so moved. And I think that as community boards, we have an ability to do. Yeah.
Let's get to some questions here.
So 20 miles an hour, which I'm generally in support of this. I'm obviously want to reduce traffic deaths and injuries. I am just curious, should we also be asking for changes in signal timing, which this would affect? I mean, one of the things obviously about moving in vehicle going north or south is that the lights line up, and sometimes they do east-west. Is that something that we should be asking for as well?
I think that the resolution should be reflective of the local priorities accordingly. So, I think that if that's important to you all, you should include it. I think at its base, I think what community boards are focusing on is putting forward an ask to say, do Sammy's Law on all applicable roads within the district, right? With no exemptions beyond what's currently in the law. Anything you all want to add to that? I would say, you should go for it.
Charlie. Oh, I'm sorry, somebody else. No, Charlie. Next.
What are the existing speed limits on the majority of the streets in our district?
25.
25 across the board.
And the signal timing is adjusted to them.
Okay.
Right.
With the exception of the West Side Highway. Every road is.
We get it. Charlie.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation, Kevin. And thanks to Families for Safe Streets as well. Yeah, I said this, I think, at our last meeting, but we talk about having slow zones in front of schools. I think PS 111 on 53rd Street has 20 miles an hour. That's one of the only 20-mile-an-hour signs I've seen. My children's school, PS 212, does not have it. But my children don't just walk in front of their school. They walk the entire neighborhood. They walk to my home as well. And I think, advocates fought for, 10 plus years to get Sammy's Law passed. And it was so disappointing to see Eric Adams do it on such a small amount of roads. So I would love to see it all over our district. And also in terms of speed cameras, a speed camera doesn't trigger a violation until you're going 11 miles over the speed limit. So, at 25, we're really tolerating 35 in our neighborhood. And I think as that safety graph that Kevin shared shows, 35 is not safe for any pedestrians. So I think getting the posted law to 20, where at the very least, drivers are not going to go more than 30 without to avoid getting a ticket, would be great. And then to Jesse's point, I don't know how many people in this committee have visited 3rd Avenue on the Upper East Side, but it's the green wave signal timing to 15 miles an hour, which has a really great byproduct of cyclists no longer run the red lights because they can't run a red light because they just go 15 and they make every single green light. And I think it's really done a great job of calming 3rd Avenue. So I'm very supportive of this. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
So I'm really supporting of that, but I'm hesitant about the strategy because we know that universal daylighting crashed miserably because they didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it everywhere.
What's universal daylighting?
Daylighting is creating a neck down at the end of so that you don't have a car parked there, and then you can see at the intersection, and you can see the pedestrian, and the pedestrian can see you, so it improves the line of sight.
Yes.
Okay, but everybody asked for that to go everywhere, and right now it's going nowhere. So I'm very sensitive to that and trying to get things done, and I don't know whether we should more effectively go to all the blocks on all the school blocks and say, okay, we want it there. And I hear what you say, Charlie, that your children are going everywhere, but it's just tactically, how do we get something done rather than having posturing and then it's not going to happen for 10 years. So that's my tension.
If I may respond just briefly to that, I think one thing that I hear you because I'm still working on daylighting. They just reintroduced it. There's 18 members back on that bill. I think a key difference here is that daylighting is a new law, right? It's a new law and a new policy and the community boards had to do tremendous socialization around this policy. I think daylighting is now tremendously important to people across the city. And I do think it'll move forward. I think moving slow, I wish it could have been done by Christmas, but here we are. Whereas I think that if the mayor woke up tomorrow morning and said, it's been stated to me clearly that this is a priority for districts, it is in his power to do the very next day, right? With very little, in terms of installation, right? The cost of daylighting installation is the steel, the stones or the bike racks or, and the change in policy, right? Whereas I do feel that with this, as already evidenced by Manhattan CB1, there is already a district-wide slow zone. The mayor can continue to expand that slow zone. And in fact, again, while campaigning, emphasized his willingness and interest in doing so. So I do think that is a key difference here.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
And I also think that just additionally, the ability to do it, Zoran has spoken extensively about interventions for street safety within the larger congestion zone, right? South of the
Right.
15th Street Bridge. So I think, again, for specifically, I wouldn't say this necessarily to Brooklyn CB4, but to say to Manhattan CB4, I think, again, kind of another great opportunity, right? That you all are very teed up to do. Already,
Okay.
the 250 locations that Adams put Sammy's Law in, or already in front of schools, and they did singular blocks in front of schools. And again, as Charlie said, it's, there's an opportunity here for the board. I hear your concerns of it. I think important to emphasize that it's
No, that's
very
a good point.
thing to do.
I got it. You had Tina.
Yeah, from what I remember, the operative terms in the proposal are where applicable. I mean, so the fact is, we're not saying, in essence, it has to go on every block, even if we would want it that way, but it does, this suggestion is where applicable. And then we could say something to the effect is, obviously, schools, daycare centers and the like should get priority or of some sort.
We could do that, but I see the point that, is being made that, I mean, when they decided to do 25, they just said, okay, that's 25 across the board.
Yeah.
And that's something that they can say, Mandani can say just like that, and then start to put the sign up, etc. So that's also an option. Hold on, Charlie.
Yeah, just to
Again?
add a couple things. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing you did, which is de Blasio just snapped his fingers and it went to 25 10 years ago. And then I get your point about the daylighting strategy, Christine, but DOT didn't want to do that because DOT didn't want to do all the work. And it, as Kevin said, it was a tremendous amount of work. This is changing signs. That's it. And then also daylighting hit obstacles because it was taking something away from people. Parking, right? It's all about parking. It's always about free parking. But who is the constituency that's against this? People that want to speed? Like, typically when you drive around New York City, you can't go more than 20 anyway because of congestion. That's gotten a little better. But I don't know. I understand the person who doesn't want their parking taken away, but the person that wants to be able to go more than 31, I don't care about them. Not in our dense urban core.
No, I mean, it's all, yeah. Go ahead.
Just for clarification, in school zones, it's 15 miles per hour.
Not necessarily.
No?
No.
It says 25 miles an hour on 47th Street in front of my children's school.
Yeah.
Under Sammy's Law.
Zones, you're supposed to be going 15 miles per hour. So
You're
That
not.
might not be in New York City. That might be a
You're not.
state thing.
If it's
And New
not
York City has-
posted, it's
Oh.
not.
Yeah.
okay.
Right. Okay.
And just I understand your concerns also, Christine, but I would also say, whereas universal daylighting, because the universal part makes it more difficult to implement because they have to go and remove all these parking spaces.
Yeah,
and cause all this-
that's what it said.
Here, the universal part actually might make it easier to implement because
Yes.
it is actually more difficult to go street by street and put up all these signs.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I
so
agree. I mean.
I actually think if we're gonna ask for it, let's just
We
make it
can do the
district
whole
wide,
thing.
yeah, it'll be.
Right. Okay.
That's what that.
Maybe not whole city, all of
Right.
Manhattan, maybe.
What's it say that?
Maybe all of Manhattan.
Well, no,
that's
sorry,
in
district.
CB4.
Okay,
Right.
no, I was just suggesting.
Right. Who's Ellen?
Yeah, do we have evidence that it works? So when they did it below Canal Street and in those small neighborhoods, do people actually
Well,
drive more
it does
slowly?
work Because then they can put the cameras, and the cameras are geared to that. So if there is,
Do they not already have cameras? They're just enforcing a higher limit.
I'd like to hear Kevin, where this has been implemented, do we have data?
My understanding is that the signage for all of Manhattan south of Canal only was completed in the end of 2025. So by the end of 2025, they had said these individual areas and zones where the administration had done it was basically done by late November, early December. I will say, looking at areas that currently have 20-mile-per-hour zones, there's Sunnyside Gardens, so Queen CB2 just passed it, Sunnyside Gardens, also the West Village. These are areas also that generally don't have fast thoroughfares as it is. But crashes in those areas, the current areas of the city, and again, I'm only speaking from, this is anecdotal from the 3 areas that I've looked at, crashes are lower there than the areas around them, and there's fewer injuries as well. The other thing I guess I'll say is that, you know, when you lower the speed limit, people are less likely to be injured and killed when there are crashes, right? Because again, it's the stopping distance.
Yeah, no, we get that.
We do have data to back that up.
Yeah,
Right.
I think our district might be more like a West Village kind of district where people are not to begin with driving super fast. So,
9th Avenue is, you know.
22nd Street.
Yeah, 9th Avenue and 10th Avenue, you have in the evening or whatever, when there is not ridiculous, but 9th Avenue, there is a lot of.
I don't know, what percentage of accidents occur at night. I'd be kind of quite curious to see that. I definitely.
Of what?
What percentage of accidents occur at night? I'd be pretty curious to see that, and if it's higher in this district versus elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like when it's less congested and cars can go faster.
There's less cars on the street.
Less cars on the street. So,
But I mean, I see the cars, if you go on the 9th Avenue or 10th Avenue at like midnight, the car's going fast.
Right.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. But there's also fewer cars around. So I think, right. I think we might just want to make sure that we're addressing the problem, like a problem that actually exists, and that this is a solution that works before we expend a lot of, you know, our own political capital trying to make it happen if it seems like it's kind of difficult to get it done.
So I think, say that again now?
How much effort would it take to go to 25?
Oh, it was a big deal. That was a big deal. But it is, you see, the points they are making is that law is already passed. So it's just.
Yeah, Christine, can I say one more thing to add to that?
For the DOT, it's a choice to decide for the mayor and the DOT to turn it on or not. Because
yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong or that it's a bad idea. I'm just saying it seems like it's the kind of thing that's kind of like hard to get done. So we should just make sure it's worth it.
Yeah. Who was saying something else?
Charlie.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one more thing. But yeah, you're right. It's passed law, and Linda Rosenthal fought for this. Brad Hoylman-Siegel fought for this. Tony Simone fought for this. Like they've all wrote newsletters celebrating. They got Sammy's law passed. They did it. Hooray. They represented us and did it. And now it's 3 years later and it's not done. So, you know, we already have the political will. That the capital was spent when we got the law passed. So let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so I would, based on what I'm hearing, I would propose a motion, not a motion, I would summarize that we would like a district-wide limit at 20, except for the highway. And that's it.
It would be important for me that we include a request for signal timing changes, because I don't want to cause more congestion.
So you don't want to put it in?
No, I do want to put it in. I want signal timing
Yeah.
changes.
And eventually to do the signal timing after it's done.
Yeah.
You know, time.
Right. Yeah, then they can study it and do the whole.
So that's what I would suggest as a summary. Do we have, is the motion there? Motion, second, all in favor? Whoop, Alan, David.
Anyone opposed?
Anyone opposed?
No.
That's it.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Kevin and Alexis.
Okay.
And Charlie for
right
making that happen.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for briefing us on that. This is
Absolutely,
good.
my pleasure.
So we're definitely skipping this?
Yes.
Okay, we're skipping number 5.
Number 5.
I know this one.
And we're turning to
Hello.
knowledge.
Okay. Everyone can now sit back and relax. Gonna get some knowledge.
Go ahead. So let's do.
Yeah, Janine
We're gonna do
the pull up the slide. deck?
Whichever you want. Janine, can you do the
Yeah.
PowerPoint?
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Give me one moment.
And we should do only gateway.
Do the part.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'm folding. I'm putting it in my jacket.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's happening.
Here we are. No?
They give me say 30 seconds per mile, use the full 5 miles per hour between 20 and 25. It's like so be just full.
Yeah, try to do something. Yeah.
Okay, wait, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. Okay. Oh, I guess we need to
Oh,
wait
Jan
for
is
Janine to
here.
like.
All right.
All right.
Hey, there he is.
Screen sharing. All right.
What?
Full screens, beautiful. Look at
I
that.
love going through the scenes and like
Yes.
the suggested themes.
There's no way it's not
Okay, take it away.
All right, the presentation, this is a deck for both Penn Station and Gateway. I think I'm just gonna talk about Gateway today in the interest of time, and then we will talk about Penn Station
Another day.
another day. They're both very large projects, so there's enough to say about both. And also, I guess, maybe don't interrupt me mid-sentence, but after each slide, like, feel free to, if you have questions, just pop in. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about the Gateway program. Do you need next slide, please? So, just, yeah, to give an idea of where I'm gonna talk about kind of the general background of the project, what it is, why it's important. Then talk about kind of the latest developments in the project, what's happened in the last like couple months. And then, we're gonna talk about like a few issues that are just like of particular relevance to the community board that we might want to opine on. There's many facets of the project, many of them are not relevant to us. But there might be a few things where I want to call them out as like specifically these are areas we might want to make a comment. So, okay. So the Gateway program, like as a thing, the purpose is to remove bottlenecks on travel like throughout this region. So basically throughout the section of the Northeast corridor that goes from northern New Jersey through Manhattan. There's like 10 different projects, each of which is a large infrastructure project that is going into the overall Gateway program. However, by far the largest and most expensive and most important and most relevant to this board is the Hudson Tunnel project, which is per the name, a tunnel that goes under the Hudson River and brings trains to Penn Station. Can you next slide, please?
You're doing great.
So this is kind of a zoomed in view of the Hudson Tunnel. Most of it you will not really be able to see, which is good because it is underground. But you can see from this zoomed in enough. Okay. You can see from this photo, you can see those like that's the Western rail yards, and you can see like
the trench.
I think at some point that will be covered up as well.
Right.
But you can see like that part of the track is already built, and then it is going underground under the Eastern rail yards, and eventually we'll go through the whole way to Penn Station. And yeah, some of this tunnel is already built, but the project is to complete it. Okay, Janine, next slide.
Yeah, so I'll jump in here. So the motivation is removing bottlenecks through the Northeast corridor and deterioration of existing tunnels. The current tunnels were really wrecked by Hurricane Sandy. They've been in terrible shape. So this Hudson Tunnel project is not just about creating new tunnels, two new tracks, but also enabling the capacity to redo those the existing tunnels. Once the tunnels that they're building right now are done, they will close the tunnels that they're currently using, and they'll build those new ones. This not only solves kind of the current issues that we're having with it, but allows them to scale up for the future. So much of this snapshot that you've been seeing on the last two slides is decrepit and old. The Portal Bridge, drawbridge, 2 miles into New Jersey, that they started construction on this week, turns 116 years old this year. A lot of, if you're going New York to Newark or DC or whatever, so much of your travel delay is based on the failures of the infrastructure in this region. And so the motivation behind this project is about fixing the problems of today and scaling up for the future. Next slide.
some things, it's over.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, the gateway unfunding. So we do. This has been.
We changed the 515 time.
Yeah. So,
The slide was correct as of like 2 days ago.
Yeah. So, in this moment this week,
It's unfrozen. Yeah.
there is no construction happening right now, but next week they will resume the construction. New York and New Jersey sued. The administration gave in. It's congressionally appropriated funding. There's really not a lot of things they can do, but they've been trying. So yeah, we should be in the green once more starting next week. Right.
I will say, like, not a lot of it here, but from everything I've heard, it seems unlikely that this project would be canceled in fall. It seems like it's going to be used as like a political football to potentially get some sort of concessions out of Democrats, such as maybe renaming Penn Station to Trump Station. Right. But I think, most people who've thought about this analysis is that it's not actually going to be canceled outright. Although there may be some, of course, horrifically expensive shutdowns for a couple of weeks or even a couple of months. Good question.
Okay, I work in Newark, and right now there's construction
On that
of the
bridge.
bridge. And frankly, the way they brought this out is horrendous. It affects so many commuters. Is that gonna, from a narcissistic point of view? I'm just curious, how much over the next year, 2 or 3, it will not affect
Nothing.
commuters?
Well, so the worst of what you're
Because
experiencing
it's
with
an
that, right?
additional tunnel.
So they're not going, because I have to tell you, it's.
They're gonna drill through the earth, and eventually they're gonna drill and they're gonna pop through into a hole, and that's gonna be the existing tunnel.
Right.
No, but
And
that's
you won't
fine.
even notice it.
So it won't
as a
affect us
commuter.
right now, the construction that's being done, very much.
There will be some
affects
above
commuters.
ground construction impact, which I'm gonna
Great.
cover later, but
I'm all for
the
it.
trains there will not be.
The trains.
So you're asking about the bridge, right? The portal bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've cut capacity like in half starting this month. The worst of that lasts through March. They're going to try to speed run it really quickly. And my understanding is that they've already mostly built that new part.
All right.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is
This is where Liam makes his pitch again for 24 hours.
So
Oh,
this
yeah.
afternoon, we had a comment, this afternoon, we had a briefing from the Gateway people on the unfreezing. And what they are saying is that, well, first of all, they are saying the money has already been, it's funded. So it's just a matter of opening the spigot or not, but the money has been funded by the government. And it's really kind of an implementation issue. It's not, but at the same time, they are trying to get more long-term commitments to the funding so that they are not like every 6 months, subject to those crazy changes because it costs a lot of money.
Also the reason, like, when the funding has been pulled, it has always been described as a pause as opposed to an outright cancellation.
Right.
And there has been, various fig leaves put forth by the administration. At one point, it was because there were some like contracting requirements about like you must have like a woman-owned business or something like in your contracting that the administration alleged was like in violation of anti-DEA guidelines they had issued. Which is, may or may not be, but fully freezing funding for a project for that is an in-flight construction project.
Crazy.
Is clearly just like using it as a political football. But like the money is there, it's already out.
Yeah.
It's just being frozen as opposed to.
Right, and it has been voted by the Congress, so everything is in place, it's just exactly what you're saying. Okay.
All right.
Okay, next slide.
Yeah.
Oh, Ginny, can we get the next slide? Hello?
Project is frozen.
Yeah. Janine, you still with us?
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah, sorry, there was a lag.
She was dealing with a notable issue.
Okay,
Okay,
next.
the next slide after notable issues.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so I think there'll be more notable issues for the Penn Station part of this presentation, but I think there's only one notable issue that I want to talk about for Gateway, and that is the construction impacts, just because in terms of I mean, Gateway is a super important project and obviously a big political football, as we've all talked about just now, but in terms of how it will affect our community, actually the biggest thing is just going to be the construction. Like once it's built, there will not be, I mean, much effect at all, except that we'll all benefit from more reliable rail travel. But in the interim, in the next 5 years or so, there will be a significant construction impact. It could be much worse, to be honest, but there will be some construction impact. So I want to kind of summarize here. I try not to put these slides that have lots of words on the slide and just read off them, but I think construction impact, it's kind of hard to do it any other way. So I'm just gonna kind of go through these one by one. And then there is, you know, the next slide I'll have a visual. Sorry, Gene, I may have to do some flipping back and forth between these two slides. Next slide is like a map, so you can see where these things are actually occurring in the data. Yeah, so the most of the construction will occur in this area between 11th and 12th, called block 675. And then also some work that like literally comes up out of the ground in Hudson River Park. Okay, can you go back into the previous slide? Yeah, so that area, block 675 between 12th and 11th and 30th and 29. That's going to be their big storage and staging area. It's obviously going to, you know, that traffic is going to come out of that. They're going to close West 29th Street to cars. It will still be accessible for bikes and pedestrians. They're going to put temporary ventilation shafts in Hudson River Park. And they're going to have to, they're not going to block, but they're going to have to reroute the bike path and the pedestrian path around the temporary ventilation shafts. And then when the rest of the project is done, they're going to build a permanent ventilation facility on block 675, which is going to be a pretty large building. I guess we'll get an opinion to opine, but I don't know how much we can opine on what a ventilation shaft is going to look like. But if you have a vision for it, someone will be asking you.
Look out into the river.
I don't think it's open to the public. And then somewhat surprisingly, like the rest of the tunnel is being bored with a tunnel boring machine underground, but for some perverse reason, they have to do cut and cover on 10th Avenue.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, but they already paid for the tunnel boring machine and it's already
Yeah, but there's a
underground.
difference between.
Just go the extra like 50 feet.
I know,
I don't know if there's like utility lines or other things.
right.
Yeah,
Probably,
I'm sure there's a
probably.
reason. I'm sure that it's,
Oops.
I'm sure that it's not that they just stopped the tunnel boring machine. We won't go we won't go another 100 feet.
Put it on the map.
But yeah, so there is gonna be, I mean, obviously you're cutting open the street, so, the guidelines is that they're gonna always have 3 lanes of traffic, plus pedestrian and bike access are always gonna be maintained. So again, I was kind of getting at, it could be worse, but obviously there will be a traffic impact on 3rd Ave, probably significant, or on 10th Ave, probably significant impact when they do that cut and cover work. And then construction hours are going to be 7 AM to 11 PM on weekdays. And next slide. So this is a map, just to kind of give a visual of where the stuff is occurring. I don't think most of us spend a lot of time on block 675. Right now, it's just like used. It's like a
Well, it's in the
Amtrak
back, it's in the
lot.
back of a building,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
But Hudson River Park, like there will be, you know, potentially more of a noticeable
yeah,
impact there, and that they're gonna build those temporary ventilation towers and but you can see on this map, the temporary ventilation towers are the 2 small circles, so those will be right in Hudson River Park. And then the
big
permanent
one.
ventilation
Right.
facility is the bigger circle to the right that will replace it when the tunnel is built, when the rest of the tunnel is built. Okay, I think that is it, but let's see, this next slide is just questions, I believe.
There are don't take that away. There are two additional benefits from this project. One is that a EMS station is going to be built once is starting to be built at the same time as the block 675.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's
something
actually, that's
right?
why they're not, you see lot 12.
Right.
That's why they're not doing any staging on lot
Yes,
12, it's so
yes.
that they can build an EMS station
Right,
there.
so that's something we have been working on for a long time to remove the one which is on 23rd Street.
Yeah.
Right?
Why do we want
No, because on
an EMS
23rd,
station? I mean, I'm not
Yes.
against it, I'm just, why is this like a community priority?
well, it was a priority because they have to put an interim EMS station under the High Line. And the smoke and the fume and, the noise, etc., was just a disaster.
Yes.
So the question was, why don't we find a permanent place? And that's why it became a priority. Because we want to have a permanent place instead of having all the neighbors in Chelsea aggravated.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one.
And
And then-
the ambulance is off the street.
Yeah, and the ambulance of the street. And the second benefit is that we don't see very well here is the heliport, where for the construction, they have taken half of the footprint of the heliport, which some of us consider as a first step.
Yeah. I get rid of the other half.
Right. So that's the,
I gotta build another tunnel to get rid of the other one.
Just build on it, let it sit.
questions, other questions.
Okay, yeah, there's only one more slide which just says questions.
So,
Can you show them the slide?
Can you show them the
I
slide?
put a lot of work into choosing this. Alright, you wanna say different, use a different theme element.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes,
Is
two
it-
questions.
Well, you gotta wait for the question slide. but-
What is your question?
Can you advance the slide, please?
You can have it.
Oh, look at that.
Now I get questions.
Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
so,
Hudson River Park,
yeah,
how is that going to be affected during the construction and after the construction?
well, after the construction, not. And during the construction, under the, they are moving the path, right? They are moving
Yeah,
the-
there will not be, like, there will continue to be a bike path and continue to be a pedestrian path.
Right,
Um,
but it's
that-
going to be in a
like,
different
just
place.
different location.
Okay.
And they're changing things to 29th, right? Because
Yeah,
I actually run on 29th and run downtown, so they started to move the benches and
Yes.
stuff at 29th.
right. You have,
Two questions. What is the latest timings on the tunnel portion of the Gateway project?
I have that, I don't have it in a slide, but I have that like information like pulled up right in front of me, so let me just. Give that free, actually.
no, I'm not sure.
No, I have a,
It's just one.
links and. I will say, I'm hesitant to change the slide again, but there's a links section at the end of this PowerPoint after the Penn Station part as well, at the very end, and.
In love with the slide question.
I linked the. Like one of the slide decks that I think they actually gave at this community board, which. Was
Right.
extremely helpful and thorough, and I, recommended if he wants more detailed information. Many of the tables and charts I pulled are just from that slide deck. And I will say they also did provide a.
Schedule.
Timeline in there as well, here it is, it's not gonna be visible to people online, I'm sorry.
Just tell them.
But the project is supposed to, the final end date of the project is 2033, when the full ventilation facility,
And it's connected.
but
Then the new tunnel.
but the
then
tunnel
new
is
tunnel
connected in 2029. So they maybe start running trains before the full ventilation towers and plates, I don't.
Oh,
know.
I don't think so.
Wait, or maybe it's the 2033 is when cause they also have to, once they build the new tunnel, then they have to shut down the old tunnel and refurbish that. Which is also part of this
Oh, that wouldn't be part
Is
of.
that not?
But
part
they
of
can
it?
they can start using the new tunnel immediately.
Yeah, but they're gonna close down the old tunnel for a
Yeah.
few
That's-
years. So-
But I think my
Another
question is,
phase.
are they gonna start using the new tunnel in 2029 or are they gonna start using it in
No, if
2033?
they don't have the fire regulation, the federal, I mean, they wouldn't be able to. And also you need to connect it to the Penn Station network, so the tunnel could be finished.
Well,
But
no,
then you need the.
my point is looking at this
Right,
chart, if this
right.
chart is to be believed. And everything is on schedule, the tunnel will be physically there and able to be used in 2029. It just that it won't meet fire code ventilation.
Or
because
it doesn't connect properly in Penn.
It
You
does.
see, the thing, I don't know whether the tunnel
I looked at
is
the map,
here.
look, there's a previous slide. Where
Right,
you can see, like, I won't go through
Right.
it, but if you look at
Yeah.
this like closely and you look at like. Some pieces of this are already built, so the final connection to Penn is actually already built.
this is this red stuff,
Like, once they get past 10th Ave,
Right.
like it's
Yeah.
like done,
yes.
past.
Okay.
What was your second question?
Oh, what's the over Western Rail Yards, there's gonna be a new condo development where there was gonna be a casino. I mean, these are overlapping, right?
This is under.
Sections. This is under. I mean, does the Western Rail Yard like condo developments happen after or concurrently? with
No, after,
this?
I mean, they have to finish the casing.
And
And
this,
then,
this piece of the project, the part where they build the, just the part that goes in, Western Rail Yard. That is expected to be done, that's phase 3. I mean, I guess the chart doesn't really say precisely, because there's just a section that says Manhattan tunnels, and there are several Manhattan tunnels. But the latest it would be done is 2029, but I actually suspect just specifically the Western Rail Yards part will be done much sooner, because that is the part they are currently working.
Can I add that the Gateway program has an office, a community outreach office between 26th and 27th and 9th Avenue. It's a great point.
Field trip?
Yeah.
oh, no,
Yeah, between 26th and 27th Street.
huh,
That's a big
All right,
thing.
any other questions?
Yes, we have a member of the public who has a question, Nicole Barth.
Oh, so-
Nadine,
Yeah.
can we move Nicole over, and then this will finish us out? Nicole.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicole. You can see it, Nicole.
Whoops. Hi, everybody. Actually, I didn't change. I couldn't figure out how to change my name since I wasn't up on the panel, but my name's Nicole Barth. I am State Senator Eric Botcher's liaison now for Community Board 4. I see a couple people in the background.
Welcome.
I know. I see Max and Jack, and I had the luck of speaking to Christine last week, but this is my very first official meeting at CB4, and it's been fun to join the transportation, to listen to you guys and join the transportation committee. And you do not mess around. I mean, you had a lot on that agenda. I'm very impressed. And I just wanted to say hi, and you guys will be hearing a lot more from me in the future.
We definitely appreciate you
Yeah,
coming
great.
to our committee meeting. That's great.
Great.
Thank you so much,
this is the
really.
most fun committee.
It is.
I knew that. I just felt that the moment I came in. So
That's the other name.
It's the only committee without mortal enemy.
well, I don't know if I see a chat here. I can just tell you what
Committees, and you were saying this was the more fun committee.
my email address is. I think Christine has it actually. It took us, it's been a little fast
Yeah,
moving.
we'll send it around.
We send it around.
Great. We finally got email addresses last Thursday, so very exciting for us.
So first of all, thank you so much for the.
Thank you.
Really complicated subject. First of all, you don't see the thing, it's up, it's down. Right, we don't know anything. This is a very complicated, it's frozen, it's unfrozen.
Yeah. This is the
Well,
simple one. The Penn Station.
Well, don't worry. I've dedicated all of the information from tonight to memory. I'm all set.
Okay.
No, because not complicated at all for a first timer jumping in there. But no, it was actually really interesting, and I appreciate it. And really interesting. So thank you guys. And
Thank
I
you,
look forward
Nicole,
to
and on
working
that,
with-
we are going to make a motion to adjourn, because everybody's really.
Christine?
Right, oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Did you have?
New business.
Yes, new business.
Okay.
Very, very important.
New, is it new?
Is it really new?
Well, some of it is very, very new.
Or is it revised new?
Okay, my name's Matthew. One of the things is 18th Street and 10th Avenue, where you have the diner, you've got the toll building, and then you've got the pizza place. Okay, that whole block, one, has not been shoveled at all. That's one thing, but in play right.
So you need to call 311.
No, I understand, I'm just letting you guys know, it hasn't been done there and on the side streets, that's one problem. But in play right now, the diner has been given 3 months' notice to vacate.
Oh my God, no. I love that diner.
The Empire.
Empire Diner?
No,
It's where they go, it's Jesse Market.
In front of PANYNJ.
It's the Blue Star.
Oh.
So the diner does not own,
So,
the diner does not own the land.
Alright,
So
Or the, you know,
so what's the?
who's
So
it,
they're gonna be, it's gonna be torn down.
who's evicting them? So, who's evicting them?
The building.
But this is
So what's
not,
gonna happen is toll's gonna
this is
be,
not a
It's a big
transportation.
block, it's a big block.
We can't, this is.
yeah, no, it is.
Why?
Wait,
It is, because when what's gonna happen is that's gonna be torn down,
Yeah.
the toll building's gonna be done, and so the 14D can no longer be there. The 14D was gonna have to go over to 11th Avenue.
Hmm.
At the point where.
But we've already sent an email about that
To what?
on the 14th.
Didn't we do
To
that?
move over to 11th Avenue? Okay, I don't know, again,
Okay, well, send us an email.
I thought we did this one already. Yeah,
I
didn't
thought we
didn't
did.
make this exact
I'm not-
request already?
I
No,
did,
but
but I'm not
we
sure if
didn't- we
anything
didn't know
has
about
been
the
done,
diner at
it's
that
been
time.
resolved on. In addition to it, with Fulton Street, where the night is, the roadbed is 40 feet, where typically it's 30 feet. So what I'm saying that the transportation committee should do is insist that the roadbed become 30 feet. That will allow what is a 10-foot sidewalk to be a 15-foot sidewalk. Whenever they do the construction, whether that's related or whomever.
Why?
Oh, no, you're saying while the
We have-
campuses are being redeveloped,
Yeah,
it's a good opportunity
Makes sense.
to also extend the sidewalk.
So that's a good one.
That's a great suggestion.
And we are going to put it on waiting until we have an opportunity
Yeah, no,
to
just saying
comment.
though, that people should think
Right.
about
It's also
that.
important.
Right, no, that's a good
Roadbed
idea.
is way too wide, and so.
We got it,
if
we got
one
it.
To another, it's gonna be, long.
So the buses aren't
You
going
sure?
down there anymore?
No, you're.
No, that's not what
No,
he's
it's the
saying.
point where
I'll take
there's
it, you-
construction.
It will be too hard to
Toll's
hold it.
basically gonna be taking up the other two sites, so maybe 4 sites.
Okay,
All right.
So there's gonna be massive construction there, therefore the bus has to move over because you have trucks going in and out, demolition going in and out, so that's gonna be. very
thank you so
tough.
much. We're going to turn off.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, and the last thing,
Oh, no,
this screen is upside down.
There we
well, we didn't know. Thank you.
go. Thank you all, motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Nicole.
Can I please ask if you helped to put up the screen?
You can